Another film breakdown. This one was gross. What is up, What is up, Fin fans? I don't know what that was, but normally what I do is I watch the film, I write down notes of certain plays I want to go over, and then I start recording. And then I capture it. I pull the pen app up that I use. We do the doodads and all that stuff. It's a lot of the same. You know, we had 2 touchdown drives. We had a field goal, 17 points. I'm not going to break down the full game because that's just heartbreak because we stopped the Bucs twice. One of them was a punt. The other was a missed field goal. And the other was the end of the game. Other than that, it was touchdown, 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 touchdown. I'm not doing that to myself. I'm not going to do it to you. So I'm going to point out some of the issues, some of the things that need to be worked on, some of the things that there were some good things, but some of the good things you were just like, all right, like the wide open touchdown pass to Gaskin. You're like, all right. But Brissett had a better game, but it was still a lot. And I'll point it out. At one point, we were down 17-10. He misses a wide open touchdown. That could have tied the game, and especially when you're going up against the Bucs, you want to keep answering their scores. They score, you score. You want to keep answering. So we'll talk about that again. I don't want to do too long of a video, but every time I say that, it ends up being like an hour. Before we jump into that real quick, something came in today, and I didn't open it. I've been dying to open it, but I didn't, and I waited to make this video for you guys because this is from patchvibes.com. And I've been waiting for this because when I saw it, I just knew I needed to get it. And it came in today, and I'm very excited to finally have it. And that is this. This shirt is amazing. Amazing. I love it. I love the retro feel, the 90s feel of it, maybe even a little 80s, but I just love. And it's such a great shirt. I'm wearing this Sunday. And if it brings us luck, I'm wearing it again next Sunday. And I'm just going to keep wearing it. But you can get yourself one. You can get yourself one of these. You can get yourself a bunch of Patch Vibe stuff. Just go to patchvibes.com. Use the promo code DDW. Get yourself 20% off. DDW2. Make sure you put a 2 at the end. You get yourself 20% off. And don't forget Backroom Collections. Backroomcollections.net is where you can go get some great canvas artwork. They have not just NHL, they don't have just NHL, NFL, NBA, all that good stuff. Use promo code DW, get yourself 10% off. Without further ado, before I mess up any more of my words, let's minimize myself and get into this film breakdown. So this is the first drive, and we end up kicking a field goal here. We don't get a touchdown here. We end up kicking a field goal. I think we get a touchdown on the second drive. Is the one to Gaskin, if my brain is working correctly. And this is a play that I wanted to talk about because it was another play where Brissett just has this thing where he waits and he stutters. So the one I want you guys to focus on is down here. This is Preston Williams. He's going to be running a go route. It seems like a go route. He looks at him the entire time, and then he rolls out and then ends up becoming a curl route. And you'll see what I'm talking about. But when I start to play, you'll see that he has time in the pocket, right? So he's staring down his guy here, has a potential here, and he's going. He's a go route, right? Boom, turns his head. At this point, right? And this is where I talked about this on Twitter. If we had any other quarterback, any like just above mediocre quarterback that's not afraid to let it fly, just throw the ball, throw it deep, you do whatever you need to do, just let it fly, I feel like the Dolphins would have won a lot of games this year so far. Possibly, and I know I'm going to be 4-1 right now. Because at this point, you're looking, he's falling. Throw it up there, man. You got Preston Williams one-on-one. Throw it up there. But he doesn't. He steps back. Preston Williams starts to slow down. Completely slow down. And again, he had him. Here's your safeties. Here's your safeties in the middle of the field. He had him one-on-one. This is a touchdown all day. And again, this is the first drive of the game that ended up being a field goal. Getting touchdowns is big difference, especially at some point we were tied 10-10 and we would have been up 14-10. Rolls out, and then, you know, even if you look, he threw his hand up. I'm open. He's still looking at him. He's throwing it here too. Comes back, then he finally throws it to him, and it's when he gets his toes down in just the most ridiculous fashion. But this is, and again, this is Brissett. This is what I've seen: Bills, Raiders, Colts, and now Bucks. 4 straight games of me seeing Brissett just, and I think I have at one point he like pump fakes like 7 times. I'm so glad Tua's back. This is another play where Brissett waits. He waits for his guy up here who's running, you know, a curl route. He waits for him to get open. And you have Waddle down here who's running a post route. It's kind of like a slant. It seems too far upfield to be a slant, because I feel like a slant would be more in here. And this seems to be more of a post. But he waits. He waits for this curl route, and I'll show you exactly when, you know, he waits. You'll see. Drop back, waits, right? See how he does that little stutter? And look when he's ready to throw it, right? He's not open. He's getting open. Look at this. If you watch the whole time, right? If it's not there on your first little giddy up, and you'll see, giddy up, turn your head and throw it here. He has all this real estate. Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki on this offense with Brissett at quarterback is just grossly underused, because he has all of this real estate here. And then eventually he throws it to him. It's a big play, don't get me wrong. And again, this is me nitpicking because he takes it downfield. But it's, for me, and the reason that I bring up this play and the reason why this play bothers me is it's the weight. He snaps the ball and then he's open. He's like, wait, he's not open yet. Instead of being like, not open yet, Waddle, boom. It's nitpicky things, but it just bothers me. I'm showing you this play here because this is one of the things that absolutely drives me nuts about our linebacking core and our defense in general when it comes to their tackling. Levante David here is going to get somewhat blocked by Maines. I think that's how you say his name. At this point, I don't want him to be the center anymore. I want him to be Ritter, so there's no point in learning his name. It's going to be an inside handoff to Gaskin. Going to be heading this way on the inside. David's going to, again, get blocked by the center, and he still lays the wood. And I'll show you again later on in the game where our linebackers, our corners, our secondary, our defense, just when the running back's there or the wide receiver's there, they either spin them down for an extra 4 or 5 yards or they slide off of them. But if you watch David here, right, gets to the second level, there's a lane here, right? So this should be a touchdown. They're on, I think, their 6-7 yard line. It should be a touchdown here. But it wasn't David. It was Barnett. So let me go back. Who's on the outside, comes across, is getting blocked, wide open lane, and look what he does. Knocks him down. Just hits him, knocks him down, doesn't let him get extra yards. And like I say, when you see the plays later on in the game, our tackling is so sloppy. When I want that. I was even watching the Bills and the Chiefs game, and I saw a lot of their linebackers make wrap-up tackles, bring them to the ground. Don't let them get those extra yards. Drives me nuts. This was the absolute biggest problem with us on Sunday. And if you watch Tom Brady here, he's going to have his tight end doing a crossing route and just easy pass to him. First down's here. I don't think he gets the first down. I think this ends up being a third down. But just watch Tom Brady. Just watch Tom Brady. And this was the biggest problem, right? Dropping back, waiting, bouncing, patting the ball, waiting. And he drops it off easy. And if I play that in real time, you'll see that this was our biggest problem. This was our biggest problem all game, and this is our biggest problem all year. And again, I got so much flack, so much heat on Twitter for bringing up the fact that we are second in the league last year in blitzing, but we only had a certain amount of sacks, and I wanted more pressure from just the straight front four. But watch this. I'm not going to stop it. You'll see. 1, 2, 3. It gets worse. And I don't know how much I'm going to show you because, again, it just hurts your eyes. But it gets worse to the point where I think at one point Tom Brady's standing in the pocket, not even rolling out. At least with, Josh Allen and these other mobile quarterbacks to kind of roll out to the left or the right, give themselves an extra 2-3 seconds. Tom Brady's in the pocket, flat-footed, just waiting. It gets worse. So you remember what I talked about with the linebacker for the Bucs? For some reason, my brain is not working. I forgot his name. It wasn't David. I said David. It was the other guy. You'll see it here. Landon Roberts. It's going to be a handoff to Leonard Fournette. It's going to be to the left side. And you'll see him kind of fall and then try to make the tackle. Right? Kind of got touched. And I noticed this with Landon Roberts because I noticed this with the Raiders game when he tried to tackle Kenyon Drake and he kind of just smacked his foot. And I noticed it with the Colts game. What? Why are you falling? Why are you falling? It's like the center touched him and he felt like, I need to dive to get the ball. It's the tackling is just so bad. This is me being nitpicky because obviously this wouldn't have changed the aspect of the game. I think on this is their first offensive drive, so they scored a touchdown here and they went up 7-3. But if you watch 78 and Jalen Phillips, it should be a flag, and I'll let you know why and when it should be a flag, right? Right there. And you saw his head turn. Little hands to the face. Can't do that. But they didn't call the flag on that. And I don't know how it's not blatantly obvious. Because again, if you watch right here, watch on this side of the screen. Boom. Pulled his head down. Little hands to the face. They don't call it. And again, this is me being tic-tacky and petty, I guess you could say. Because it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game. But call it. The touchdown, I like to throw a little sprinkle of something good in here. But this is the touchdown pass. And it's good call by the Dolphins. Good eyes by Jacoby Brissett. Bad on the Bucs defense. They are going to put, you're going to have Myles Gaskin. He's going to be doing a wheel route. Look at that arrow. That's like prime time arrow. Single high safety. You're going to have Pierre Paul covering him, which that's a mismatch in itself. This is going to be, it looks like zone because the way Pierre Paul covers him, he doesn't follow him, and the safety kind of pulls himself over, right? So kind of lets him go. And at that point, when Brissett sees that he has, he's opened up, he hasn't turned his body towards him, doesn't seem like he's going to follow him. The safety is still around center field. He's on the left hash mark, but he's still kind of center field. Got all this real estate here, and Jacoby Brissett puts it right where it needs to be. Allows him to run it right in for a touchdown. It's a good play. Something that drives me nuts about, and this is what I talk about when I'm like, the defensive scheme, I'm like, what happened? Is my thought process always. I'm like, what is going on? I think it's second down here. Again, some of you guys are saying, I wish you could tell me the downage, the scores, the time on the clock, everything. I wish I knew because I have to do overseas stuff because the United States one, which I paid $100 for, still isn't working properly. So I have to do overseas stuff. But your first down marker is right here, right? So the 35 is your first down. They are sitting at the 25, so it's 1st and 10. Dolphins look like they're sending a blitz. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the pocket. Bucks are only keeping in 5 plus the running back, so there's going to be at least one free guy coming after you. What do the Dolphins do? They play about 10 yards off. Why? All of them. I'm not going to draw the arrow a bunch of times, but they're all 10 yards off. Why are you all 10 yards off? Very easy. Do you see this little hand motion he's doing here? Right? Calling him over? It's just, okay, you know what we're going to do? You're going to play 10 yards off. We're going to come in here. We're going to do that. And you're not going to be able to get up quick enough to get us. And we know that Antonio Brown or Godwin, who's in motion, or Mike Evans is quick enough that you break one tackle and you're going to go. And what do? Quick slant. And now you have to hurry up and get up there. And that's actually, the funny thing is, and that's a I don't know why Brady didn't throw it quicker. Boom, throw it. Right there, just throw it. But he kind of waits a second. But he still gets 10 yards. Because we're playing 10 yards off. If you're going to blitz, play press. But again, I will get to a press that just was absolutely horrible. Because of this play, I think they ended up kicking a field goal. Because right now the Dolphins are up 10-7. And they end up kicking a field goal here because of this sack, which is just, it came at a perfect time. And if you look at the defensive linemen and the defensive lineup, right, you have Emmanuel Ogbah here, you have Andrew Van Ginkel, you have Jerome Baker, and you have Jalen Phillips as a kind of like a DT going up against the center. And he does a fantastic job of using his stunt, right? Bring on the inside, he's going to come on the outside. You got your two guys on the outside. It goes around. Jerome Baker gets up in there and gets the sack. It's just great play. You have your best pass rushers out there in Ogbah, Ginkel, Baker, and Phillips. You know, you had Jenkins out there who's all the way down here, but you had all the guys get pressure on him, get the sack, and this forced them to kick the field goal. I don't understand why they didn't do this more. Send more pressure on him, blitz him more, because there's another drive later on in the game where they kept blitzing him and they forced him to punt, and that was the first punt that they did in the game. I don't understand why they stopped doing it. This is another play. At this point, the game's tied. It's 10-10, like I said, after that sack. You have Preston Williams here where Jacoby Brissett is just dead set on getting him the ball. He throws him a back shoulder pass, which is a little bit off, and he can't catch it. But if you look at the routes of these three guys, I don't understand why he was so dead set on throwing this pass to Preston Williams, because I think this is Albert Wilson. He actually gets free, right? So he's dead set. He's covered. He says, screw it. I'm going to throw a back shoulder pass. Here's the first down marker. Let me just, whatever. He doesn't really need to, because when he gets the pass off, he's fine. He could even step up because this guy's about to block him. He could step up. But he lets the pass go. You had Waddle here on an out that, he had his guy beat. You had Gesicki coming across the middle. He had his guy beat. And if you keep looking, right here, could have hit him. But he decides to throw this ugly back shoulder pass to Preston Williams, which just went nowhere. And then we ended up punting the ball back to the Bucks. And this is the touchdown pass. And I even noticed this while I was live streaming with my father. It's going to just be a crossing route. He's going to catch it. This is Antonio Brown. This is going to be Xavier Howard. You're pressing him. This is not pressing. This is pressing. You're pressing him. I even said it while I was live streaming. If you are going to press, and I heard Tony Romo say the same thing. If you're going to press, hit him. Hit the receiver. You're within the 5-yard mark. If you see that the receiver is going to be running an inside route, like if you see the receiver is trying to get to the inside or trying to make a move to the inside, or he's trying to get to the outside and either run an out route or run a go route and trying to get around you, wherever you see that shoulder dip when they're going to go to the inside or the outside, that's the shoulder you hit. especially if you're pressing, you hit that shoulder, because what that's going to do is, the receiver's ready to go. And if he's ready to hit that slant, or if he's ready and you hit that shoulder, it's going to push them off their route. Then they have to, I saw it happen to Jakeem Grant all the time. He's not on the team anymore, but I saw it happen to him all the time, where it would knock him off his route, and then he'd have to kind of do like a little bit of a curve in his route to get back on it, and that messes up the timing, and that messes up the quarterback, and it helps the pass rush get there, because it puts an extra second or two on the route, puts an extra second or two that the quarterback has to stay in the pocket. And if you watch here, he doesn't touch him. Does a little dance, right? Like, does a little dance, and then you see what I'm talking about? Look at his shoulder. You know he's going to the inside. Does that little dance. Ba-ba-ba. And then, see what I'm talking about? Ba-ba-ba. And then he goes that way. Hit that shoulder. Why is Xavier Howard open to him? He's not flat, right? If you see that your man is going this way, he should be more of that, right? He should close himself off and hit him, jam that shoulder, and force him not to be able to run his route. But if you look at his feet, he is completely open. He has let him into the route. He hasn't jammed him. He's got his hands down at his hips, and he is just opened. Xavier Howard is just open. And what does that do, boys and girls? You're not going to jam him. You're not going to, close the route by closing your shoulder in on him at least. Well, what does that do? Free reign. Dump the ball off to him, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help when you look at Nick Needham over here. Just falls. So there's a touchdown here. If Xavier Howard wasn't chasing Mike Evans, and if Tom Brady looked over here, I think this is Godwin, that's also a touchdown. All day, every day. And then he runs in for the touchdown. But it's just, why? Why not press him? Why, when you're pressing him, why not jam him? Why? What is going on in his head? So now the Dolphins are down 17-10. And again, I've said it time and time again. You got to answer touchdown with touchdown. You have to answer touchdown with touchdown. I showed you where they could have converted and not punted to allow them to get up 17-10. But here is a pass that, again, we're down 7 points. We're on our own, say, 27. And you have Waddle here. And Waddle's going to just run a go route right here. He's going to get around his defender. This is Richard Sherman. He's going to run a go route. Richard Sherman is not as fast as Jalen Waddle. He's just not as fast as Jalen Waddle. Brissett tries to force a pass here to Gesicki. And you'll see the missed touchdown, right? Gets around so you see Gesicki here. He's staring down Gesicki. So he thinks, if I put the ball here between two single high safeties, he's going to catch it. He got Waddle on Richard Sherman one-on-one, right? He even pump fakes. And he doesn't even throw the ball yet. But the whole entire time, he is staring at Gesicki, who has 2 men in front of him. He has the safety coming down. You are triple covered. Do not throw this ball. But the whole entire time, he burps the big... Do you see this? Do you see this? He now has his head turned towards the quarterback. Drop the ball right here. Lead Waddle down the field. Yeah, you have the safety over here, but if you put the ball where it needs to be, it'll get it. Again, you'll see. And then what does he do? He tries to... I don't know what he does here. And to me, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I have no idea. Because he drops the ball here about 10, 15 yards past where Gesicki is. But you had Waddle, and that would have been a touchdown. If not a touchdown, the safety would have made the tackle around there 40. But again, we end up punting, and I'll show you another play where the reason why we end up punting. So now, after this play, so again, we're down 17-10. Could have had the ball, it was a lot of dink and dunking running plays. You have Gesicki here. He's running a crossing route. You have, I think this is Waddle. He's going to be running an out route. And he just tries to force it to one player. Sorry, not Waddle. You have Albert. No, it is Waddle that's going to run this out route. Right? And he just it's like the play, your number one read is to Waddle. He's like, I'm going to get it to Waddle regardless of what happens. Now, I see why, right? Because he's got the space here, but you have Gesicki here, and you have 33 chasing him. Here's the first down marker. Just dump it off to Gesicki. He'll get the first down, but he tries to force it to Waddle, and it's just a good defensive play. But you had Gesicki. And now we're punting it back to them. And then it's another touchdown. And another this is what I'm talking about. So if we had anyone different at quarterback, it would just be a different game for so many games. Jerome Baker, as well as Xavier Howard, had a bad game in this game. Tom Brady is going to take Fournette. He's going to motion him out to here. And then he's going to have him do a quick out route here. The man who is supposed to be covering Fournette is Jerome Baker. And Jerome Baker, if you notice, when the motion happens, doesn't move from his side of the field. Right? There goes the motion. Then as soon as he sets, and it's like it's late, right? You'll see. Oh, crap. I got to get over there? Snap. The guy run around his guy. Don't want to knock his guy down. Wide open. Wide open. Easy first down. It's these little things, these little mess ups, these little tic-tacky things that cost us games. Like this Bucs game, I knew we were going to lose. The Bucs are they're Super Bowl champions, so they're ahead of us. We're in the second year of a rebuild. They're already, Super Bowl champions. So, we have a lot of young, inexperienced guys on our team, whereas they have all these vets and they're good. But it's like the Colts game and the Raiders game are the games that these mistakes shouldn't happen, and these mistakes cost us wins of games we should have won. So do you remember that play I showed you again where just laid the wood on Gaskin, knocked him on the butt, and I said that there was a play later on in the game where it's just infuriating how bad our tackling is. This is the play. You have number 14 in motion. He's just going to drop the ball off to him real quick, right? And you have Needham here. You got Baker here. Just one of you guys, free roam, and it's a horrible angle from Nick Needham. Just hit him. He's not even Fournette, where he's a big running back, a big stout guy that's going to lay you down. Just hit him. And it's just like, he got like 6-7 yards. The tackling is just so bad. Just so bad. So now we're down 24-10 at this point. I think it's still the first half. We have the ball on their 30-yard line. So again, we can cut the lead to 7 points. And he's going to look at Preston Williams here. Preston Williams is going to be running a go route. And he fumbles. And you'll see why it bothers me that he fumbles, right? Drop him back, and you can dump it off to the running back. You can dump it off to, I think this is Shaheen. But he still thinks, and you could see, I think this looks like it's Richard Sherman. He's ready he's backpedaling with him. I don't think that's Richard Sherman, but he still thinks I can get this here. It's either going to be intercepted or it's going to be smacked down. Here's the first down. You have two guys right here. And the ball gets smacked out. You're down 24-10. Nothing was going to happen here, man. You had two guys right here. Hell, if you really were like precise with your throws, you could have got it to Gesicki in this spot right here if you really wanted to take advantage of it. But you had two guys right here. Hell, you get it to Brown, and Brown can make some guys miss, make a tackle, and get down the field. This was the one time that I was hoping that Brissett would just throw the check down. But this is the one time he tries to force it to a guy who's going to be covered, and it is Sherman, and he ends up fumbling. So again, give the ball back to the Bucs. They ended up trying to field goal and not making it. But it's just quarterback dumb plays hold the offense back. The last play I want to show you, so you can either go drink a beer or eat a cheeseburger, something to make you feel better, is a Landon Roberts here. This is why before the season started, I had my list of areas of the team that still worry me, and linebacker was on there. A lot of people were like, really? And this is one of the reasons why. The biggest thing that can help a run defense is good linebackers. And it's good linebackers that can, either make the big hits or hit the gap, hit the proper gap. This is going to be a handoff to Fournette, and you'll keep an eye on Landon Roberts. And I want to see if you notice something that I noticed. Did you see it? Did you see it? Because he tries to make the play, right? You have two options. You have Brandon Jones coming over here. You got, I think this is Godwin blocking Jones, right? So you have a little bit of a lane here and a little bit of a lane here. So Landon Roberts needs to decide which lane he wants to attack, because Jerome Baker has his lane. Jerome Baker is in his lane. So if the handoff is to go this way, Jerome Baker's there, right? So it's either here, here, or here. And Landon Roberts has to choose. He has to choose which one he wants to go to. Which one does he choose? Why? Why? But why did you run into, I don't understand. Maybe I'm just missing something, and maybe somebody with more football knowledge than I do can explain to me why he essentially ran into the back of Christian Wilkins. But I remember seeing it live, and I was like, he didn't even hit the right gap and allowed for a big run. No, it's not that big, but it's still a first down run. I didn't understand it. But again, this video should be shorter than my normal film breakdown videos of 40-something minutes. But looking at the film breakdown, because Tua Tagovailoa was back this week. He came off of IR, and he's going to play. He's playing Sunday. He has to play Sunday for my sanity, for the football, for the Miami Dolphins sanity, for the people who still are assessing him. The other people who think he's already sucking and we need to get rid of him, then it doesn't matter to you. But from the past 4 weeks of having Jacoby Brissett, 2 of those 4 games the Dolphins should have won with bad quarterback play. It was bad quarterback play. And this game, it was defensive, right? The defense just let the Bucs score every time, no matter what. Because again, it was 10-10 at one point, and it was just the defense in this game let us down. But the Colts game and the Raiders game, defense got a pick 6. The defense, we were up 14-0. Getting the ball back, there was a lot of, we could have took over that game. We could have went up 21-0. We could have continued to add on the score in the Raiders game and just had the defense pin the ears back and do whatever they wanted and win that game. And then you look at the Colts game. Colts game, we were holding them. I think we had the lead going into halftime. We were holding them, but it got to a point where, and it seems like it gets to the point where the defense is just tired of consistently being on the field. And I've showed you in so many film breakdowns that there's touchdowns left on the field. And I showed you this game when the Dolphins were down 17-10. He had a touchdown that he just didn't want to throw, and he threw it away, essentially. But like I said, Tua Tagovailoa is coming back, and I'm going to do a film breakdown for the Jaguars. And I'm going to be just as critical of Tua as I am of Jacoby Brissett. If there is touchdowns that he misses, I'm going to talk about it. If he stares down a receiver and pats the ball 9 times and waits for the receiver to get open, I'm going to talk about it. I have no favoritism towards Jacoby or Tua. I have favoritism towards winning. So if you expect me to be like, well, this is that and this is that ain't me. So it's going to be interesting, but hope you guys liked the video. Hope you guys liked the film breakdown. I know it sucks to see because this game kind of really blew, this game and the Bills game, but hope you enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe if you haven't yet. Other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow with the picks. I got the picks video, and then we got the preview on Friday, and then Sunday, 9:30 in the morning. Dolphins taking on the Jaguars in London. But other than that, guys, like usual, stay classy. Fins up.